very soon, Wolf, what they're going to do about it when it was just kind of walked into
the Vayne ban feels like such a miss. Like, I just don't... You have pick priority as HLE, so you're like, all right.
Blind Olaf is crazy if they went for that. The Gnar is going to be the lock-in, though. So casting, like, he doesn't have the Jace to go into this, which we've seen a lot of people pick. He doesn't have the Vayne to pick up into it. TF top, that could be a thing. And that is what they're considering for the moment.
Yeah.
Not sure how enthused I am about it, but I think it worked for Keen in this matchup. And Blind Gnar is punishable. It's just often punished by things like the Vayne, things like the Jace, and they are
your whole
not
comp,
available.
Like, if it can be punished by Camille if your comp works with that.
Yeah.
You could go TF Camille. You know, they maybe play through topside and say, well, the Ezreal lane is definitely not going to work, but going Olaf here is quite risky.
Whoa, this
similar idea with the Aurelia to the Camille, where if you get a lot of resources up there into the Gnar, you absolutely can pop off, but I think it's so risky. And this is going to be TF top with that double global setup to outrun the Rise, and the Pantheon is still available, so I guess with all these globals, we're just going to throw down another one.
Yeah.
This game is going to get pretty interesting.
I think so too. I do think that HLE have kind of walked away with absolutely everything that they could ever dream of, and they're very, very happy with it. That being said, HANJIN BRION do have the Ezreal this time that was banned away in game number 1. The Jarvan is the most coveted jungler on the patch. They have the TF into Gnar matchup in the top lane, which theoretically should be good, and Talia into Rise hasn't been very bad at all. Casting is looking for in this top lane into Zeus' Gnar. Let's get onto the Rift here for game number 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the Rift for game number 2. HLE versus Bro. As already, Roma taking some damage. Kanavi with a bit of a drive-by spear. Finding a bit of an angle there as Zeker is trying to get even more damage down. Might be able to throw some more flux over his way. But has already gotten a potion out of the Talia. And is feeling pretty good about that one. As Namgung already in position here in this lane. Pretending to be an Ezreal.
Going for Ghost in this top lane. And because you're Twisted Fate, your ultimate acts as a pseudo-teleport, and you will eventually get teleport as well. And you don't need the shield that much. So it is a pretty cool tech here into this Gnar. Can help you in the lane, but also can help you with gold card setup for your team later on to then follow with the Talia shove.
Wow, this is a very aggressive level 1 trade between these two mid laners as Zeker is able to sidestep the rest of the threaded volley. It's like Roma might have to go home. Speaking of ghosts, there's ghosts in the mid lane as well, so we're not teleporting back to this one.
I think
and Roma has to think against it.
Advantage here for Romer, or sorry, against Romer. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, looking for it. Gumayusi has to flash already, has even used the barrier and is taking so much damage. Great trade here from Namgung and Teddy in this bottom lane. And yeah, they invested the flash, but they got one in return.
Yeah, so a very heavy commitment there. But it does work out.
Maybe Ezreal Nico is actually just the best lane, and I got it all wrong.
Well, we kind of jumped into that setup a little bit late, so if we had a replay of it, I'd like to see exactly how they got them into that position. They had the level 2 lead, so focused a lot more minions down. Kanavi is here, but he will meet Gideon.
Yeah, and Teddy is now arcane shifting over. The Aegis is only going to last so long as Kanavi has to flash. The auto's in the air, and the red buff's not going to be enough. Flash over from Teddy. The Mystic Shot is going to get blocked by Gumayusi, though, as the beat drop comes down, and the Spear of Destiny will come down from Gideon to lock up first blood on his opposite number. The pros out to a great start here in game 1.
Ooh,
flash out in the 1v1. All right. Okay, Roma, I see you.
He's back. He's online. And I think the Observers got jump scared by a clone there, but it's all good. Just going to have this wave cleared. And Romer will finally get that back. He's been waiting so desperately for it. Zeka's already used his Ghost. So, see how this trade started off here initially. It's going to be Kanavi going in. Teddy does end up chunking him down. Kanavi gets the flash wave. He dies to that auto. It feels so bad. The Guma has to block for him. Guma does a great job here. But there's only so much he can do, right? Gideon is eventually, just with his really long range, going to be able to snipe him down. So a successful play there. I think Kanavi just going a bit too deep there with Gideon and waiting. Was able to help CC him down. And Teddy is so ready to commit. Like because they have the vision, they have the information. He just has the faster on the jump. And Guma isn't able to affect the play in the same way. 6-0 on Ashe, 5-0 on Seraphine, 6-0 on Gnar. Some good numbers here.
Yeah.
He's played Ezreal 10 times, and he has a good win rate, but...
Hey, he's 6-something on the Ezreal as well, okay? 6 is in the win column. It's crazy. I swear Gumayusi's Ashe has got more deaths than kills over this season, and it's still 6-0, which is absolutely ridiculous. Zeka is now able to do a decent amount of damage back to Roma here in this mid lane, and is still pretty far ahead in farm, despite the fact that he did have to flash in the matchup. So this Ryze doing fine. Casting's being quite annoying.
Yeah, he is building a pretty significant advantage. Only just went for the early Doran's bow start here, and like doesn't have any other items. He's just playing with his range, trying to harass Zeus and push him out of the lane here. Ended up being a significant gold lead for him just because of the passive, but that's still a real gold lead.
Yeah, passive and a plate already going over his way, and seems to be very close to the second one in that top lane at the same time. So the TF is working into the Gnar for now. Blind Gnar, always a difficulty. Is Delight going to miss the beat drop? And okay, let's see the flash into Zeka, throws him over the back of his head, and Gideon's able to pick up the kill. Man, that looked really cool.
Right before this happened, before you looked at the bottom lane, I was preparing to say the fact that Zeka doesn't have flash could be a concern, but because Jarvan doesn't have flash and doesn't have ult, he doesn't have the same mobility, so he might not be able to set this up.
He literally threw him over his shoulder.
Yeah. He was a continental soldier in that moment. And Zeka's knees hung low.
Yeah, they did.
They wobbled to and fro.
I only know the other version of that song, so I'm glad that you're the one that started singing it. Because mine's not as appropriate.
Well, you know, I think sometimes you consider the Jarvan the one who sets up the Talia in this matchup. You're feeling pretty good as Zeka. You're like, well, he can't get to me. But sometimes it's the Talia that sets up the Jarvan.
Yeah.
And he just sent it. And that was a great play there, bro, with a 2-0 start. I don't want to say anything about it or about tempo vibes or about advantages.
Nope. Because just talk about what has happened so far. I think that's the right way to do it. And right now, the bros are on perfect game pace.
All right, watch Romer. Sends him.
Yeah. This flings him into the shopping cart, man. That's what he did.
The shopping cart.
That's what it looked like. He's like, oh, this is my cereal. I know that I want to pick it up. Just throws it behind him. And Gideon's there, able to catch it. Oh, beautiful. Man, I want to see them go shopping together. I imagine they'd be able to do it very efficiently.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, I do have an update for you, by the way, guys. Gumayusi's Ashe is 31, 19, 49 total kill deaths and assists. So doesn't have more deaths than kills, which is means that I was telling a little bit of a lie, a bit of a fib, but that's a lot of deaths still.
It is. I mean, the truth is, a lot of this season, Guma has been, you know, he's been getting some resources, but it's been more about the front line. It's been more about the engagers. It's been more about Zeka and Kanavi.
And it's also not when he's playing Ashe, right? He plays almost pure utility. And so it's no slight to Gumayusi, but he has just been thrown under the bus by his teammates almost every time he plays Ashe.
And he's still, there's been a few games where he's had several deaths on the Ashe, hasn't made a huge impact in the early game, and it looks like he's just not going to do anything, and then he still pops off later.
Yep.
But
he's still 6-0.
In this game, you know, has his Greaves, and he's pushing the lane, and the Ashe Seraphine is doing the Ashe Seraphine things. Teddy's holding his own, still has that gold lead from the earlier assist, but is still not any prio.
Yeah, and it's like that gold lead has now gone away. Is going to be able to get back towards this turret after that plate does go down. Hits level 6 as well. That's why they were playing so defensively, I'm pretty sure. As Kanavi will be able to finish off his Raptors. And is now just going to go back to base. See how close he's going to be towards that Sundered Sky.
Any wraparounds?
Yeah, I think maybe we'll have one as the arrow is going to sail by. There was a Jarvan in the area, but Gideon obviously a little distracted by the grubs.
Yeah, he's happy for it.
Oh, yeah.
And Romer's going to come over here as well, the prio he has, and they should be able to get the grubs again.
Yeah.
Well,
Kanavi going to show up here as Namgung's flashing away from Zeka. You can see Gideon really wanting to take these grubs away and is able to do so. Good buffer on the flag and drag will avoid that stun being a problem. So 2 grubs over to the bros. Kanavi has to take one of them. And I'm going to have that conversation about whether 1 grub cancels out the perfect game again.
I don't think so myself. I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah.
I was at home on my day off listening to you talk about it, and I was getting a little heated.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why we are so... like, I do feel quite strongly about it. I think at the end of the day, I did say, like, it's not really end of the world. Like, if this is what majority feels, it should be the case.
I was definitely, like,
but I think if you've got the majority of the grubs, that's enough.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was shaking my fist at the TV, being like, amen, brother, and stuff, you know. I was there like, yeah, preach, Atlas.
I appreciate it.
And, you know, Ox was like, well, some people have different opinions, and I was like, quiet down!
Yeah, shut up, Woodin! Oh, okay. Well, Zeka is going to get towards his top lane. Casting really wants to try and gate his way out as he flashes into the brush. Some flashes to follow him, but this Ghost, I think he's going to... Oh, never mind. Kanavi's here, and Casting is very dead. Smash into the wall, wallop down, and HLE will claim their first kill of the game.
He locked red card. I don't know if it would have really made a difference there, but he didn't have gold card to help peel himself out of that situation, unfortunately, either. As Delight is like, stay away from my ward, but he's going to get it anyways.
I mean, Romer is getting a lot of work done in this mid turret.
Yeah, now we actually also could see a cross-map dive. Very tough, though, because they both have flash and defensive ultimates, so I would not advise Gideon to make this play. And the Pantheon's also here. Like, they took so long.
But what about a 4 versus 3? As there is a Talia over here as well, as they almost get the shove onto the light. I think without that, they're not going to go for the dive, as at least they do manage to get another plate. Teddy
I think
getting some work done with his Sheen.
It's the right call, and they didn't really lose that much for it. You know, the plate went over to Romer, like you mentioned in the mid lane before this. Zeka was backing, so you know, he's not going to lose any minions for roaming over there, as his name does indicate, but they don't commit into a Seraphine, Ashe, and Pantheon setup there and toss the game away. They just go, oh, well, it was cool. We got a plate. Let's back away. We still have Prior for Dragon. Yep. Measured play here from HANJIN BRION. I think that could have been a huge disaster. Now, they're looking at double Dragon.
Yeah, and actually, I love this as well. Bro just like starting off the Drake, just saying, we are stronger, we can take this. They pressed tab. They saw that Kanavi didn't have his Sundered Sky yet. Gideon has his already. I don't think that this is something that's all that smart to contest. And Zeka is still looking for more items and things like this, right? He's a Rise that doesn't have anything completed yet and takes a little while to get off the ground. What the hell? Is that 6 in a row?
My God.
We are just... There's too many Hextech Dragons!
We did the statistics for this in Challengers, and I can tell you the odds are astronomical.
Yeah.
That this could happen.
Well, it's happened.
I know.
We've got 6 in a row. Like the same dragon.
I guess the good news is, like, basically now we're never going to get struck by lightning because we got this like weird statistical anomaly.
I mean, statistically, you're never going to get struck by lightning anyway, Wolf.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
now you're really not going to
like, I feel like because we got this, like, I'm never going to get to win the lottery, but I'll also never be struck by lightning. Is how it feels in my mind.
Yeah, that's a nice way of thinking about it. All right, arrow for Roma. And it's going to tag him. Gumayusi with great aim, as per usual. And there is the Spartan from the sky. Kanavi able to come on over and make sure that they secure the kill. Beautifully done. Delight going to take a bit of damage here as the bros... I'm not entirely sure why they're fighting around the empty Dragon Pit, but that is fine.
Both teams have double global, right? Twisted Fate and Talia, and you have Rise and Pantheon on the other side. But Guma's like, it's triple global. Triple global. Ashe Arrow, global ultimate. And sends it in there, and Romer gets the insane duration stun. As you know what? This is the first Dama. Guma's like, if you're going to stop my back, I'm angry about it. And look who has ult to follow in the jungle.
It's beautifully done.
And that is just, that's how you do it. One of those 3 globals didn't have to move, but got him.
And sometimes you just got to flash those. But the thing is, I imagine Roma was like, well, maybe I'll just be fine anyway, because he had his support and jungler relatively close by. right? Like, sometimes you just don't need to use it. That time, definitely should have, but that's a bit hindsighty. As now he's going to throw the wall down towards Kanavi, looking for some revenge here as he flings him back. The Aegis is down. Zeker is going to show up, and Kanavi does manage to get the kill back onto Gideon. It is a 1-for-1. I don't know whether the bros are all too happy about it.
It seemed like Gideon was trying to make sure that Romer got the kill there, and so held some of that damage, but he dies as a result of it because they cannot get the kill fast enough. And so ends up being a 1-for-1 when it could have been so much more if they had just done a little bit more there. Skuma's going to get chunked out here, but with no Gideon, I think he may just try to stand his ground as Delight's coming over, and that should be the end of this aggression. They're slowly but steadily whittling away at this turret, getting a lot of plate gold.
Yeah, there are 4 plates left on their side of the rift. I think it's a reason why the bros are in a bit of an advantage at the moment. That being said, the gold is sort of heading back into HLE's favor over time. And it's kind of crazy that Zeus has almost a 300 gold lead when he's against a TF that just kind of makes money out of nothing. As the arrow is not going to hit Teddy.
Okay, that would have been something.
That was a pretty nice arcane shift to be able to do it even without the sort of buffet effect that you can have happen, as casting will be able to find a gold card here on Zeko. But now that that is on cooldown, I don't think he really wants to go toe-to-toe with the Rise.
Yeah, they're just going to swap this lane. If Romer gets a shove, there's an angle, but just not quite able to. Doesn't even commit the Ghost for it. Zeka has Flash and Ghost available as well, so would just not have been a successful play, as now we're heading to this third dragon. Hex Tech Soul Point for Bro. They lost their gold lead, but if they can get this dragon, they get a lot of power with it because it's just so much... so great for their comp. You know, you end up setting up those slows. It's become so difficult to get away from this Ezreal Talia. Then it's easier to set up those gold card shove combos with Jarvan. Incredibly powerful for them if they can get it, as they are going to look for right now this first turret. A lot of members down here, including Gideon, and first brick puts them back in the gold lead.
It does, and it also opens up the map for them as well. Zeus going to get spotted on this Krug camp. Gideon comes on over. And with casting able to take down this turret, like you say, they're able to reclaim the gold lead, and that moves to about 1,000 in their advantage. Very nicely done, as the Rift Herald will go over to HLE. They might be able to use that to deny this dragon. Could be pretty powerful here.
Yeah, the timing of this is really good for HLE. Because of the dragon you mentioned, only 3 plates left on both mid turrets, but if they group and siege that turret, the Rise siege is pretty good. They might be able to get the whole turret if Bro don't respond well, and also the prio. They could decide to use this for team fight power and use it as a combat herald as well in this team fight. It will, of course, depend on how the setup is here for Bro, because right now they have a little bit of prio, but it's not that strong as Gideon runs over. They're going to use it for the pressure in mid.
Yep. So still a lot of vision available for the Bros, so they can come over here and try to defend, but you've got Kanavi just driving Shelly, trying to get some sort of advantage here as great buffer on that flag and drag. It is going to be the extension of the Encore that locks down Gideon, but he's able to get himself out of there. And now the Weaver's Wall going to come in just to get Roma over here. Looks for the fling, doesn't get it on to Zeus.
So
Fling's
Teddy,
obviously a singed ability. I apologize. It's more of a seismic shove.
Teddy has lost his flash now, which is significant for this upcoming dragon fight. They are doing the dragon right now as they get the turret, and they're also getting bot push as well.
It does look like there are more HLE members on the map right now.
Like, Gideon has to kind of tuck tail and run. Casting is going to get a turret in exchange here. He didn't have TP. He didn't have his ultimate. So they're just going to get everything out of this, and Bro lose so much momentum. They still have a gold lead here, but I think getting Soul Point would have been so valuable.
I do think that stalling now does make a lot of sense for the Bros, just because they want to be playing around Teddy when he hits the mirror mana. They want an extra item onto casting, you know, like get Roma towards like a dash cannon at least, find a little bit of an avenue there. I think that there is room for the Bros to get a little bit stronger. Maybe fighting for the next Drake made a little bit more sense. And HLE just had an overwhelming tempo advantage. So just give it up. You can. That's what Double Dragon affords you. But I do need to see the Bros get back onto that front foot once again.
Yeah. And, I mean, they got a bunch of money to the Twisted Fate. He got the gold lead back. So that's a good sign, right? That's a good thing. Teddy has got his second item. It's not transformed yet, but it will be pretty soon.
Yep. He's
got a whole wave to drop Qs into, so it should be really any moment now where that is completed. This turret is going to go over an exchange here for HLE, but I think this next team fight is really going to be very telling as to where this game is going. That's a really nice interrupt.
Very cute.
Oh my god, Teddy's also got a global ult.
There you go.
It's triple on both sides.
There's globals everywhere.
On LCK Global?
And on the regular LCK as well. It doesn't even have to be on the global side. Everyone's getting a little dose of the global so far today. It's beautiful. HLE did deny the Nocturne, though, by banning that one away. So we might get that for Game 3 if the bros are able to do this. And that's what we're hoping, because we want, globally, we want 3 games.
Yes.
I think that is just universal. So casting up here, just trying to make more money. And is doing so quite nicely. Has a Zeal now building towards his second item currently. I think exactly know where the ADTF item breakpoints are, to be perfectly honest.
I think there's a lot to be said about how these comps scale, and we haven't talked about it too much because we've been talking about the globals, the advantages you can get. It looked initially like it was going to be a snowball-y type of game, but it really hasn't been. It's been very close, 3-3. Nothing crazy in terms of the kills. Pretty low for the average here for HANWHA Esports at this stage of the game, and to be a goal deficit at 19 minutes is unusual as well. As we're going to see the TF come through.
Yeah, finds the gold card. There is the wall as they look for the fling back, but Kanavi is able to get himself out of the way. Flash out from casting, avoids the encore, and now Zeka looking for an angle, doesn't quite find it. There's the evolution for Teddy, as this Ezreal well and truly online right now, as HLE will be able to back away, and their health bar is actually looking pretty good at this point.
Just going to grab this scuttle and then look for resets. But what I was leading to is that there's an Ashe and a Ryze here, as well as a Gnar. So 3 real consistent damage threats, whereas the Ezreal is going to be the main consistent damage, but with the Twisted Fate having Rapid Fire Cannon and Kraken Slayer is somewhat of an AD threat, but just not really the same sort of element that Zeus is going to be on this Gnar, especially because the Gnar can transform and be an AoE CC setup in team fights. Very difficult to kill, very tanky as well. A lot more mobility. So I think for HANJIN BRION, you feel good that you got the double dragon because it means that you have a little bit of extra leeway of dragons you can give up. But I think you really wanted triple dragon. You wanted triple dragon, soul point. You wanted to be able to threaten every fight on your terms, and now you've lost control of the map. And HLE, gold is dead even, but I really favor their position right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it is starting to move back in their way, but Gideon is able to steal back his blue buff. That is good news. Gumayusi not going to be stealing that one away from him. And casting is a real threat in these side lanes. I think that this ADTF will be so annoying as we get later and later into the game. Obviously, I think in the raw 1v1, I think there is a point where Zeus is just able to kind of win. But I don't think that is happening just yet. And if casting is able to build up more and more of this money, he will be able to get into a pretty good spot in the early late game at least.
Yeah. The Baron, there's a lot of vision around it here. For Bro, when everyone's missing on the map outside of Zeus here, you're always a little bit worried that they could potentially be doing it because they have so many damage threats in this comp that it could be burst down. Especially if only the Gnar is showing. It's like, well, he could be just charging up a Gnar bar to go over here and contest and help protect that Baron. But they aren't doing it. The ward does go down for Namgung, so that shores up the biggest concern. And now it's just all focus on this dragon. It's all focus on trying to get soul point again here this time for sure. As casting has TP, and I think he will need to use it. I don't think Bro can give over 2 Hextech Dragons here in this game, or it is just looking like they're never going to get that control back.
Yeah, I think they need to fight for this one. I think this is where things get a little bit dangerous as the gate going to come on through here. They're looking for Zeus right before this Drake is going to come up, and the Cataclysm does go down, and that is a very dead Gnar. So nice pick, but can they get back down towards this dragon?
I mean, casting does have TP, so I suppose he could just come over here, but there's no other step. They're going to try to go for Baron? I don't think so, bro.
No, that is illegal, and they're just going to lose the Drake. So I don't, like...
This isn't
I understand it. I understand it, right? Like, you go for the cross map. Instead, you look for whatever you can get without the control around the Drake that you had, but I think they really did need to try to get a soul point at that point.
If they kill him with 20 seconds left before Dragon spawns, and they have some time to actually regroup and go over there and look for a 5v4, then I think it's fine. But there wasn't even a turret to take top side, right? It was just get a kill and lose Dragon, and a kill going over to a Twisted Fate. It's good, like he's up on gold, right? It's not a bad thing, but it just doesn't really further HANJIN BRION's late game win cons, right? It just doesn't actually further their ability to slow this Ryze and Ashe down, who are just heading towards their breakpoints here very quickly. We're about to have Rod complete here for Zeka, which will push him essentially to level 16. Gumayusi looking for his third item here after his PD is completed. It's looking really like the HANWHA Esports squad has gotten over the toughest hurdles here in this game and are now looking to really look for 5v5 team fights front to back.
Well, Romer is throwing rocks around, and the arrow is going to get a dash cannon out of Romer, even though it wasn't going to hit him. But I thought that he deserved the cooldown.
After he didn't flash the last one, you know, maybe he's just trying to show everybody he is paying attention.
Yep, I like it. And sometimes we need that reassurance. That's all right. The Bros back to an 800 gold lead, and that's what they got themselves by foregoing the dragon, like you were saying. But it feels like money now, and HLE will just have stats forever. And I don't know whether that is really what the Bros want to be staring down the barrel of.
That is a problematic situation.
And this is kind of like how the game looked in Game 1, right? It was HLE just outlasting the Bros. As Gideon going to look for Kanavi here. Kanavi is not looking too worried about it. Does have a level disadvantage, though, but still able to offer a lot of damage back. And 3 minutes on this Drake. The Baron up and available for now. Zeus still has a CS lead, which is kind of crazy, but it's only by about 5, and that wave is going to get eaten by the TF in a few moments.
I just think, okay, here comes the ult. They're looking for top side.
Yeah, Romy going to get flashed on here, and does just take so much damage and dies. There's nothing you can do about that.
I was just going to mention right before it happened, like, I think HANWHA Esports are playing super slow, but they have so much control of the map, they could just kill someone in sides, and they do just make that pinch happen. Now they're going for Baron, and they have so much damage. It's crazy. I don't see a real contest, but they have to try. Casting's going to TP up.
Yeah, let's see whether Gideon can get some sort of steal happening here as Teddy trying to find the damage. Light takes a lot from that Mystic Shot as in goes Zeus. He's got the Mega Gnar pretty well charged. There's the Pop Blossom onto 2. The Encore doesn't find a whole lot of value as now Casting running around the battlefield, but gets tagged by the Gnar and obliterated by HANWHA Esports. Now the Realm Warp is looking for Teddy, and he's going to have to get into this Raptor pit, but I don't think that's going to save him. Of course, Kanavi's flashing after him. 380 gold over to the Pantheon, and if they would like, they can head over towards this Baron to take that one down.
Just reset it. And this Baron will last until the next dragon spawns, but it might not matter. It might be more about the inhibitors getting opened up. Zeus is going in, 2 levels up.
Yeah, he's between turrets and doesn't seem to be too worried about it. Has Delight there to back him up, as Romer at least deals with the wave. But HLE will be able to take this Baron, and now they launch themselves into the biggest lead that we've had so far in this game.
Yeah, so lots of pings coming down here, just looking for any target they can dive on. And then he goes for Romer as soon as he appears on vision, because he knows that the rest of the Bros are trying to defend, they're trying to rotate up, they're trying to group towards Baron. And they punish because they have vision control, because they have map control. This fight here for Brion is just desperate, right? I mean, Namgung is looking for an ultimate, but there was no follow-up. Teddy is on another planet at half health, and he dies unceremoniously as Teddy tries to walk out alive, but he's on the wrong side of the map as well. It's just a disaster. They get the Baron right afterwards. And HANWHA Esports are, to say they're in the driver's seat would be an understatement. They're 3,000 gold up now, but they have this Baron to start taking apart the edges of the base here. All of the inners are still up, so on one hand you're like, well, bro might not lose inhibs, but they're gonna give even more gold that's standing here on the map.
Yeah, and Casting has just completed his Storm Razor. I mean, that's all well and good, but HLE now moving towards a 4,000 gold advantage.
IE for Gumayusi.
Oh, God.
Actualizer for Zeka. You know, I mean, these breakpoints are being hit now. And Zeka's 2 levels up.
Yeah, and Teddy's got his Endless Hunger completed, right? But 3 items doesn't feel the same as hitting that 2-item spike, especially when all of HLE have found all of those 3-item moments for themselves. There's a nice seismic shove onto Zeus, but he's just not taking enough damage. The flash is going to be used, but the arrow still hits. Down goes Roma one more time. And even though the Encore doesn't really find the mark, they still get a flash out from Casting. They'll break open the base. And Zeus is just hopping forward, not afraid of anyone at all. And HLE, like a freight train, will just move towards these Nexus turrets.
And they're looking to end this one right here, right now. And will secure their spot if they do so.
Yeah, that's first place. And they could have been 3rd if the Bros had have upset here, but instead they're able to get themselves that spot in that first best of 5 for themselves for a shot at promoting straight to MSI. Absolutely crazy if they're able to do that, as at least Teddy gets a kill onto the Gnar, but it is a triple from Gumayusi. Almost a quadra, but it's taken away by Zeka. And there is the Nexus going down. HLE, another day at the office here in this best of 3 as they just disassemble the Bros in back-to-back games. Just really felt like there wasn't much of an inroad, and there is going to be another ace secured here by Zeka as they pad the stats before they take him down.